Hello, 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 everybody. Hope wherever you are, if you guys are experiencing this across the nation weather front, same that I am, that you are being safe, staying safe. So, this is the book that I'm going to be using for my 60s themed journal. I have already gone through and altered the pages, as in, I've torn out the pages that I didn't want to make room for pockets, folded them all up, and as you can see, it's already full of the very colorful papers. I've gone through and I've picked out and trimmed and cut all the paper ahead of time so that I don't have to do that while I'm putting the journal together and filming. Most of that should be self-explanatory on how you do that, so I didn't feel necessarily a need to film that happening. Got myself some glue pages. Now, this journal was inspired by this artwork that was gifted to me. So, in picking my colors for my scrapbook papers, I tried to stay within the color spectrum of the journaling cards and the tags and stuff from this artwork that's going to go into the journal itself. But I don't know where any of that's going to go yet. So I get everything glued in, and filling the pockets and stuff is the last thing you do, or at least it's the last thing I do. So thank you for coming along with me. There was a hair stuck in that paper clip. So this is a page that I have created. It's a book page base, gessoed. There's stickers underneath on the base layer, and then dry brushed with some white paint, splattered with coffee, brown paint, white paint, various other stuff. More stickers on the top, above, on top of the splattering stuff. And then I've just, a sentiment. In this case, it says, I love chocolate, and I've got chocolate. Excuse me. I have punched out the corners and a thumb pull here. So there will be a card that will go in here. Inside of the pocket, backside. So that is where we are going to begin, is gluing this onto the page. Like so. Now I measured this out ahead of time. The pages are I did the scrapbook paper 5 3/4, and if I really wanted it to go up into the spine, I should have done it a little wider, but that's okay. I have one glue stick out. By the time this is done, I will have gotten more out from the drawers down by my feet. This part of an altered book is a glue stick killer. It's just like doing collaging. You'll blow through your glue sticks doing projects like this. So these will line up top and bottom with the edge, but then have a little bit of an edge around the side. Where is my spreader? I'm going to do things a little different than I did the last one, in that I'm going to get everything glued in first. Then I'm going to go back and glue the pockets. I was trying to grab my glue there. And then I need my towel. This is a little crooked up here, so I will trim that off a little later. Okay. And I'm also just kind of, I'm not inking this one up as much. I will go through and like do all the edges at the end as well. Partially because I want to use my new toy. The new toy for my craft room. It's actually a hair cutting tool. It's got a razor blade in here, but you can use it like this to rough up the edges of your papers. I haven't used it yet. Hopefully my internet cooperates with me today. My last couple videos that I've tried to do have been a bit of a struggle. The storm is most definitely wreaking havoc on my Wi-Fi, my connection, and it seems that oddly enough, it's actually StreamYard that's having the most trouble staying connected with my Wi-Fi. I thought I had these edges all glued down already. Apparently I did not. So yeah, I literally just glued this to itself on accident. Now I did try to match the left and the right page together, but not necessarily worry about whether or not it matched going into the next pages. Try this. then I'm going to try this. Set those off to the side. Pull my glue page in. Okay, so for starters, I got to glue this flap down. That did not. I'll figure something out up there. It didn't. So when I fold this over, I've got some white showing up there still. Just glue down. Get to this side. Now there was supposed to be. Oh well, I was supposed to leave it up there to fold over, but I didn't. I mean, to be fair, I was doing this really late last night because I couldn't sleep. So this is going to line up flush with this edge instead of folding over like I had initially intended for it to. Oh, how I manage that. Squish that down into the margin. And then this will fold over. And that is reinforcing this folded edge of the pocket. But you can see when I fold them all over, there's that little white triangle up there that doesn't quite cover. So there's those ones. Guess I should put my, I mean, once the paper's on, I'm pretty much gonna know like how all my pockets are. But this one's gonna be, it's gonna have a side loading pocket here, it's gonna have a top loader here, and then I'm not sure how I'm gonna decorate this page yet. Off to this side. Definitely going to be some trimming. It's weird because some of the paper is like crooked. Like the page itself is not straight. Just interesting. Just checking to see if that was any crafty channels dropping videos. I went through a huge stack of scrapbook paper last night. Probably 15 inches worth of scrapbook paper. And went in, laid them all out on my bed, and asked my husband, what looks good? What screams 60s to you? And mind you, neither one of us are 60s children. But, I figure he's into 60s cars. So See, what is going on here? See, it's straight here, but then it's way crooked. This is the problem with my trimmer. It does not cut on a 90 degree, no matter what you do. So it's looking like I will either be doing a lot of ribbon or washi again, like I did in the last one. This time around, it looks like it'll be primarily for decorative rather than function. My last one, it was a lot of function because my pages were not staying. They weren't staying in very well. So I used the washi to kind of glue them in there. This, it looks like it's going to be more about covering up the flaws. That is my paper cutter. It was a discussion that my daughter and I had, because I bought myself the cutter, and then I went back and bought one for her. And then after the fact, her and I were talking about it, and she's like, "Does yours cut straight?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, does it cut straight?" Of course it cuts straight, right? Nope. Absolutely does not cut straight. Something in manufacturing, I don't know what happened, but no, it doesn't cut straight. So rather than following, like on the trimmers, you have where you push your paper up against it. I have to follow the score lines rather than this line up here. Otherwise, it doesn't cut straight at all. But apparently, while I was cutting paper last night, there's at least a couple times so far already where I didn't line it up very well. My papers are not cut at 90-degree angles. I loved this paper. It's perfect for a 60s journal. It's all about peace and love, and there's peace symbols on it and whatevers and whatnots. But yeah, see, again, totally crooked. Totally and completely crooked. I guess I did some of this cutting in the wee hours of the morning too. It was I woke up in the middle of the night, couldn't get back to sleep. So I came into my craft room and started cutting paper. And it's entirely possible the book is crooked. But I'm pretty sure it's me. Well, me and my cutter. Yucca, yucca, yucca. Glue. I got glue all over my fingers. Huh? This is where I need one of those book weights that Gail has. Hold your book open while you're working on it. Ugh. I will say, getting my fingers in the glue is not my favorite part of this crafting stuff. Not a big fan of having glue all over my fingers and stuff. There is glue on this, so I'm going to hold that off to the side for a second. What I'm going to do is trim that a little bit better up top. Okay. This goes here. What I'm going to do with this wet, gluey paper is this triangle that I peeled off already. Glue it to this. Now I have a corner pocket for somewhere else. Ouch! I just ran my own foot over with my chair. This is another double pocket. I'm putting this one in the back. This one will be on the front. I'm going to turn this around though so that we have orange to the orange. It's funny. My husband and I were talking about, we were talking about 90 Day Fiance and how one of the characters, like he calls his fiance bougie because she complains that complained because there was not an indoor bathroom. Yeah, and I'm like, wow, wow. In America, I don't know how they get away with not having a bathroom inside the house, but he's like, well, I know in like some European places, there's like a communal bathroom in like hotels and stuff. And I go, oh yeah, like in that National Lampoon movie. Which one was it? Oh, probably European Vacation. It's like, duh. It's the duhness of it all. I never claimed to always use all of my brain cells. Just saying. Sometimes I'm lucky if I'm using one. Come on, give me the point. And I'll do the same thing with that one that I did with the last one. Is when I cut this triangle piece off, I'll adhere it to that other triangle piece that I just cut off. And then it becomes pocket. It is weird because it does seem like the pages in this book are not straight. I'm going to set this aside for a second. Take this. In the nature of using up my scraps rather than storing them for later use, I have sorted the scraps into 6 piles to do the stack and whack tags. Obviously, I'm not going to use, 30 tags in this journal, especially since I already have some started with the artwork that was gifted to me. So I will go through and kind of like, oh yeah, that looks good, or that'll go into the stash for, a later project. Oh. And then I got to get this one onto this page, and then I can put the paper clip on there. Book weight. Also need, before I get too much further, I do want to also see if I need to trim any of those pages that I've just gotten done. This is where it comes in handy having a colored glue. Like there are glue sticks, like it goes on purple and then it dries clear, or it goes on blue and it dries clear. And that's so you can see where you've put glue and where, you don't have glue. That would be nice sometimes to have that, that indicator. Oh, I'm gonna need a baby wipe because my hands are getting really gross. My baby wipes are also kind of drying out, so I'm going to squirt some water in there. It's funny, this is the bottle I used when I did the Citrazole with the Nat Geo books. So even though that bottle's been cleaned out, I don't know how many times, filled, refilled, so on, so forth, still smells like oranges. Which, not a bad thing. Just a little wet wipe to get the glue off my hands. See, like this is way above the book. Which again, I find funny because, I used the same trimmer, the same measurements. That's really awkward. Let me turn it this way. Okay. They're not the scissors I like to use for cutting paper. I mean, for cutting with glue, where glue is. But I can't get to close enough with those scissors. So put those off to the side. Put a book back around. Where'd my paper clip go for this pocket? There it is. So one pocket there. So one pocket here. And I lost another paper clip. Okay. Digging. Okay. I'm sure it's somewhere amongst all of this. I'm going to set this aside for a sec so I can get all these little, what does Gail call them? Grits. Get all the grits off the table. Okay, this one is just too solid because this is going to be a side loading pocket. So glue globs from the last go around, I gouged it right at the last minute. Gouged it with my paper. So I had 2 huge glue globs. I can feel right here by my pinky. There's no glue there. See, now I just don't get. Every page was cut 5 3/4 by 9 1/4. And yet here I am with pages that don't fit. Which makes 0 sense. 0 cents. How do things not fit when they're all the same size? Let's not lose that paper clip. I think how I lost the other one. I think it's down on the floor. I think I knocked it off when I've been in the book around. What kind of TV shows does everybody watch? I do spend a lot of time in this room. And so I watch stuff on my Roku. And so it's a lot of Hulu, it's a lot of YouTube, some Discovery Plus. I do not have Netflix. What else is on? You know, the normal free stuff that comes with a Roku, like Crackle TV and that kind of stuff. But I'm never on those channels. I didn't even know like what shows they offer. So this book is just baffling me. It's the only thing that makes sense is the book itself is crooked. Come on. Ugh. The glue sticks when I don't want it to, and then when I want it to stick, it won't. Okay, well, we're gonna go this way. Lift this back up. Stuck that I got a wrinkle in it because I was having a fight with it so much. That was fun paper. I only had one sheet of that. I'm kind of keeping an eye on the time too. I mean, this is, I'm sure, I don't know how many people are gonna hang till the end since I'm literally just, gluing pages. I definitely appreciate anybody that does. But at the same time, it's not like I have a whole lot to talk about either. Oh, good time for the hiccups. Okay. And then this one's going to go here. See, and I did leave a little bit of room for that one to fold over. Not much. And I measured these out too. So it's really, really weird. Guess maybe my brain wasn't fully on last night and early this morning. Oops. See, cut that corner, just gouged my glue again. So now there's a big old glue glob right there. This. Yeah, and this, I mean, there's a lip, not much, but there is one. That's a a lot of different kinds of TV. Married at First Sight, Love After Lockup, 90 Day Most. I've never been a big fan of Single Life, and I'm even less a fan of Single Life this season. A lot of it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Like Veronica and Jamal, if they're in an exclusive relationship, why are they on Single Life? The whole premise of the show is about dating and trying to find somebody to be with. So if they're already with each other, makes no sense to me. I don't like Natalie. I've never liked Natalie. I really don't like Chantal, however the heck you pronounce her name. Really, the only person that I would be interested in watching would be Tyree. And at this point, I just feel like TLC's using him, and his poor guy. They keep, he keeps getting his hopes up that he's gonna have his first ever date, and then they don't show up, and I'm like, okay, well, it almost, like I said, it almost feels like TLC's using him as, the pity factor or comic relief, or I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I mean, I get he signed up for it. This is the second time on a 90 Day Fiance, show. But at the same time, I'm like, at what point do the producers take responsibility for things and be like, you know what? We don't think this is good for you. Versus, oh, this is going to be great for our ratings. Don't get me wrong. I realize it's a TV show and it is about the ratings. But still. So the same as I did last time. I've got the gluey page. And I'm just going to put it to the other triangle that's been cut out. So it can become a pocket in its future. I have the second one as well. No, don't stick to that. Don't stick to that. Thank you very much. Since I almost have my table cleared off and I can just about set my sewing machine back up. That's kind of one of my goals, is to get that to the point where my sewing machine is set up full time again. And sew around those pockets and make them decorative. Okay. So yeah, I'm having a hard time with the show because of that. And it's like, and honestly, he would be the only person I would want to watch, just because I think, he's the only person that's actually looking for a relationship. Everybody else is looking for, a meal ticket or, a green card or somebody to buy them a house. Natalie. Chantal is like just out of a marriage. She doesn't need to be getting into a relationship right now, and her first two episodes, it's like, wow, that's more like sex tourism stuff than, trying to find a relationship anyway. You know, she's all about seeing how many guys she can kiss and shaking her butt on screen. And, you know, it's like, wow. Never really liked her anyway. I liked her better than Pedro, but you know, I've always felt that she was super messy and condescending, to be honest. I think she always felt she was better than Pedro, like she was rescuing him from, you know, the poverty of his country, and he owed her for that. You know, and when he fought back to that concept, which rightfully so, you know, she was like, you know, and you saw that, like, when they broke up, she, you know, started making comments and, you know, and stuff leaning toward that, you know, he owed her, because if it wasn't for her, he wouldn't even be here, and, you know, stuff like that. And it's like, wow. Like, shady, shady, shady lady. You know, craziness, you know, just the things that, you know, the things that her family would do and say, and they're, you know, I've never been a fan of her and her family, so I'm really okay not watching her hoe around Colombia, trying to find yourself another, what'd she say, dark skinned man or whatever. Like, wow. Now, there have been other characters on the 90-Day franchise where, you know, they've been accused of fetishizing certain cultures, and I'm kind of feel that way about her a little bit. You know, it's, what I said, Colombia, Dominican. I was just thinking the Dominican. I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah. Going across the country to another foreign country for a divorce party. I'm like, if it was really about having a divorce party, you would have probably just done it in your hometown, or, you know, a town nearby. I mean, seems odd to me to, you know, go out of your way to go out of the country. If all you're trying to do is, you know, celebrate being divorced. Seems more like what a lot of people are saying. And, you know, she's engaging in sex tourism. Which admittedly I need to do a little more research on before I form an opinion on whether or not that's what she's doing. But that's just me, because I do like to be informed. I like to make informed decisions. I don't make decisions based off of emotion. You know, so I need to do a little more research. But my basic understanding, just from what I've gathered so far, is when somebody from a more affluent country goes to a third world-esque country and engages in relationships for the sole purpose of being in a relationship with them for, whatever purpose. My guess would be to be able to have that power over somebody, to be able to, stand on a pedestal and be like, yep, I'm better than you. Look at me. I have all of this and you have nothing. And if it weren't for me, that, that whole kind of power dynamic. But I could be wrong. As I need to do some research. It just was a side. I'm like, where was that paperclip? Okay. I think we're going to do this last set of pages and then we're going to call it good for today. So we're coming up on an hour and I want to be able to close this and let it, let that glue dry. Underweight. And then I'm also going, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to work on the stack and whack. How you say that without laughing? The stack and whack tags for this journal. Yes, sometimes I still laugh. Sometimes I still get, things that, are like what a 12-year-old boy would laugh at. I think unexpected burps, unexpected farts are funny. I still laugh. Especially when my granddaughter does it, because she thinks they're hilarious. She loves farts. So whenever she rips one, she just starts laughing. I farted. She just thinks it's hilarious. Which, of course, makes everybody laugh. Her, she'd go, did you hear that? It's a fart. She was so funny. Can't wait to see her on Monday. Which is going to be earlier in the day, but, A, she's got to get out of school first. And B, oh, no, not school. There's no school on Monday, which is why my daughter is watching All Three Girls on Monday. Because there's no school, she will have All Three Girls while Emma and Lauren's mom is working. And so when she gets off work, then Sam and Mina will pack up and head this way. So we have our 4-H meeting at 6:30 on Monday night. And then I don't know if she's going to spend the night. I mean, it would make sense to spend the night, but it's not up to me. And then Tuesday, I have to decide what time she's headed home, but Tuesday's gonna be crazy because her and I are both, like I said on previous videos, her and I are both expecting our mail deliveries. And then plus Tuesday is our Marguerite Miller live night. So all of her stuff will be at her house. So she'll have to go home so that we could do our lives. So I don't know. I said, I don't know if she's going to take off early in the morning on Tuesday or what the plan is. See, this one, I left a lot more room to fold over. Definitely gonna do another wipey on my hands, even though, and this is how I end up getting so sticky, is trying to hold these papers down. But doing the tags, I'm gonna get sticky all over again. But knock off some of the surface yuck. Nope. This way. So yeah, while the 60s is like my husband said, it was kind of a personal style thing in the 60s. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. I said, but I'm leaning more on the hippie, flower power vibe of the 60s versus like housewife 60s. So that's why we went with the super bright colors. Well, like I said, and it's to go with the artwork that I was gifted. So, and that was what I specifically asked for from her was 60s flower power vibey. Wow, that's folded so crooked. That's bad. That's crazy. I folded that crooked to begin with. All right. So with that, I'm going to set this aside. We got just about half the book glued in. You can see it's already starting to gator mouth a little bit, and I'm really okay with that. I'm going to set this under a heavy tote of books up on my shelf over there to let it squish back down and really adhere those pages. And off camera, I'll be working on these tags. So thanks for tuning in, and hit that notification bell so you know when I'm dropping the next videos. Bye. Oh, my mouse isn't working. It's on paper, so it's not working. Anyway, bye.